Hi, this is Miss Melinda. Welcome to Miss Melinda's Spontaneous Smart Diva Show. How are all you guys doing out there? Hey, I want to give thanks and give all my gratitude to you for all 671 of my subscribers. I am very grateful that you appreciate my show, you enjoy my show, and respect my show. I'm really glad that you guys are here. I love you so much, and I love all my fans, students, and viewers. We're gonna just get going and start teaching the class right away. And if I can, I will talk spontaneously after class. Let's just get the class taught because I'm getting too many interruptions. I had to stop the whole show, so we have to start over. So I'm not gonna talk for the new subscribers or the new viewers and fans. Just watch page 1 of the judicial system, the trials, law class, but I want you to focus on biology. That's what we're working on right now. And we're on biology class 9. And the name of this class is Changing from Apes into Humans. I thought that sounded very interesting, don't it? Yeah. So, anatomic, it's an anatomic structure changes. Arms, because apes walk on all 4 limbs. Their front limbs don't straighten completely. If they did, the apes would dislocate their limbs. Okay, consequently, apes don't have elbows, which allow the arm to straighten, but humans do. Okay? Continuing, changing from apes to humans. Okay? We got brains. Oh, that sounds interesting, don't it? Modern humans of prominent foreheads okay, let me read this again. So brains, changing from apes into humans. Now we're talking about the brain. Modern humans of prominent forehead I got a shorthand here and okay. Modern humans have prominent foreheads. The size and shape of the skull has changed as the size and shape of the brain has changed, period. Human brains are now larger and more rounded than those of ancestral species, and the bony ridge above the eyebrows of humans has shrunk significantly in comparison with human predecessors. Feet, we got feet next, okay? Now that humans walk upright, the shape of the heel has changed to absorb the impact of the foot, hitting the ground differently, okay? The hand, okay? Now we're on hands, okay? Hands. The hand of a human and chimpanzee are see, my writing this magic marker, Amazonly similar. This magic marker gets me screwed up. The hand of a human and chimpanzee are amazingly similar. Okay, the hands of a human and chimpanzee are amazingly similar. Okay, the anatomic structures are the same. The differences lie solely in the fingerprints. That's interesting. Humans and other primates, prehensile, grasping thumbs, which allow the gripping of objects. Uh, Prehensile, I don't know what that word is. Prehensile thumbs appeared. It must be a description of thumbs. So prehensile thumbs appeared in human predecessors about 18 million years ago. That's fascinating. I don't know how they figure out 18 million years ago, 50 billion years. I don't know. I'm going to ask that on my computer one day. Okay, now we're talking about jaws. The jaws. The human jaw and teeth have shrunk. Now that humans cook food instead of eating it raw, their teeth don't have to tear and grind as much, period. Instead, humans have developed chins to help support the thinner jawbone, period. The changes in the jaw and flattening of the face have allowed humans to produce language. That's fascinating. You've got to listen. We got to watch this over and over. Okay, listen to what it says. Instead, humans have developed chins to help support the thinner jawbone. The changes in the jaw and flattening of the face have allowed humans to produce language. We couldn't even talk. See, they didn't even talk. I studied this class, back in like the late 70s in college at DuPage. And it's amazing because they didn't even talk at one time. And it's telling you here all the reasons it was able to allow humans to produce language. So watch this show over and over again. I put, wow. That I just taught you how we developed into being able to create language. So you have to watch this over and over again. And then after you watch all the new uploads for biology, you go to biology class 1 and you watch that. And then biology 2, 3. They're all mumble jumbled though. I accidentally got so you gotta do it by the number. After you watch the uploads of the day, you can do that, and then jump to 1, class biology 1, class biology class 1, and then somewhere's going to be 2, and then it's going to jump to 3. Okay, knees allow humans to walk upright. The ability to straighten the leg supports the weight of the body, and because the knee is positioned beneath the pelvic bones rather than in front of them. Humans don't waddle during movement. Waddling slows a human down, and humans occasionally need to run. Okay, change from apes into humans continue. Tails. Apes don't have tails, and humans no longer have them either. This anatomic feature disappeared about 25 million years ago. However, the remnants of the tail are evident in the coccyx. I don't know what this means, but the tail are evident in the coccy, and it has a little X at the end. So tail are evident in the cocky bone at the end of your spine. Cocky X bone at the end of your spine. We'll have to watch this over and over. Okay, keep listening. We're already to page 8. Digging into DNA. This is a new title. Digging into DNA. The development of DNA technology has played a huge role in helping scientists read some of the human history encoded in DNA. by simply comparing the DNA sequences of hominids. Scientists can discover several pieces of info, such as new title, Digging into DNA. Which hominids are most closely related? Species that are closely related have greater similarities in their DNA sequences than species that are more distantly related. Humans are most closely related to chimpanzees. Our DNA sequences are about 98% identical. Isn't that fascinating? Wow. Today, the current line of thinking is that there is an ape-like species alive 10 to 20 million years ago that branched into a line of gorillas around 7 million years ago. Okay, digging into DNA continued. That species then branched off into two lines about 5 to 6 million years ago. One of these branches on the family tree led to chimpanzees, and the other evolved into humans. Fascinating. Okay. Note that scientists aren't saying chimpanzees turned into humans. Saying chimpanzees turned into humans. They're not saying that. It's more like chimpanzees are our very distant cousins, and we share the same great grandparents. So it's three greats. Okay, and I put lots of laughs. With a lot more greats in there to stretch back to 5 or 6 million years ago. Okay? This is a label, how hominids migrated, by comparing the genetic relationships between hominids, the age of certain fossils, and the geographic locations of these fossils, scientists can figure out where species originated and where they traveled. Okay, next label is when new species emerged. In animals, species are defined based on their ability to interbreed successfully. Typically, two organisms that can successfully produce offspring are considered to be in the same species, whereas organisms that can't produce offspring together are considered to be unique species. With extinct species, scientists can't make direct observations of who could interbreed. Okay? However, scientists can look at the DNA sequence from fossils to see who was mingling DNA. Scientists have compared DNA sequences from humans and other living primates. So us humans are primates. I haven't studied this in 40 years. I forgot. It's interesting. Okay. Digging into DNA continued, as well as those fossilized hominids, including fossilized Neanderthals. That was in my when I took this class back in the 70s at College of DuPage. That was in our class. What did I just say? Neanderthals. That was one of our tribes we studied, along with Homo sapien, Homo erectus, So here is check out the big brain on the Homo sapiens, biology class 9. It's one thing to know how Homo sapiens evolved into another, wait, it's one thing to know how Homo sapiens evolved into today's modern humans. It's another thing entirely to understand why these changes happened. For example, why did the human brain become so much larger than that of other hominids? The clues about why things happened the way they did are pretty scarce, but they do exist in the form of tools found with a skeleton, evidence of burial of human remains, and evidence of the use of fire. From these types of clues, scientists can put together hypothesis to explain the evolutionary pathway of modern humans. Okay, a new label. Some of the hypotheses are as follows: colon. Okay, as human ancestors began to walk upright, they soon began to hunt. Therefore, they went from being herbivores, H-E-R-B, just like the name herb, and then I-V, or I, and then vorous, V-O-R-E-S, herbivores. They went from being herbivorous to carnivorous. One factor that led to this development was climate change. As the earth began to warm up, some of the forests disappeared and became open savannas. Okay, we're almost done, so can you keep paying attention, you guys? Oh, he left. I can't believe it, but he's right there. Finish up before he comes back. Okay. So. Okay. All right. So, in an open savanna, it's much easier to see prey, especially if you're standing. So human ancestors became successful hunters and ate plenty of meat. Okay, next part. Eating plenty of meat, with all the fats and proteins. Meat contains made hominid brains. Bigger and bigger brains were selected for over time. However, scientists still don't know why. Okay, we're on page 17, so if you could just pay attention to me, okay, and learn and listen to what I'm saying, we're going to almost get this class over with. Excuse me. Okay, so check out the big brain on the Homo sapien. That's the label for this one. As the shape and size of brains changed and enlarged, ancestral females had to give birth earlier so the offspring's head could fit through the pelvic bones. Because babies were born earlier than they were much more dependent on their mothers for a longer period of time. Okay? This change meant that the mother couldn't contribute to hunt, but she still needed adequate nutrition to make milk to breastfeed her baby. Okay, we're almost done. Can you listen? Are you paying attention, guys? Pay attention. We only got 3 pages left. Wake up. Okay. To breastfeed her baby, the father and other members of the clan therefore had to help the mother by bringing her food, period. The fact that the mother had to rely on others for her survival and that of her baby led to the formation of close ties with other members of the clan. Okay? 2 more pages. Y'all listening? You guys. I don't know why I say you all. I don't talk, but my girlfriend kept talking like a hillbilly, joking around. No, I'm from Chicago. We say you guys, okay? Okay, so last 2 pages, paying attention. And then when you have fun with all these uploads, then you go to biology class 1 and you stay with this. Okay, and study class 1 and then 2 and 3 and just do it when you have time or when you're in the mood. You know, I shortened a lot of the classes, so you should be able to just sit right through it. But if you get tired of it, you can take a break and do it later that day or the next day or a few days. Okay, the evolution of hominid brains. Okay, it's that long proper noun we had in another biology class. I'm just gonna, I got to get through this. Australopithecus anamensis. It's something somebody named. Okay, we had this last class. So then it's the same word again, but it's got a different second word, afarensis. I have to teach fast because there's somebody that comes in here and he's out of control, you know. Okay, genus, Genus. And, oh, good, he disappeared. Okay, genus and species name, brain development. All right, brains with about 400 cubic centimeters. Oh, that's what CC stands for, cubic centimeters. Okay, I kept wondering what the CC meant. Yeah. Okay. So let's do this again. Brain development. Brains with about 400 cubic centimeters in size comparable to that of chimpanzees or gorillas. Both species could walk on 2 legs, but were intellectually ape-like. Okay? Homo habilis, brains with about 650 cc. I guess that means the cubic centimeters. Okay. I'll have to find how big that is because they're talking about heads. Okay. Homo habilis, brains with about 650 cubic centimeters. That's what I think that stands for. This species was capable of using stone tools, period. Homo erectus, brain were 850 to 900, I guess, where is it? Cubic centimeters. I'm trying to learn to use that. This species began socializing without members of the species. And 20, our last page, okay? Okay, Homo neanderthalensis, brains with 1,300 cubic centimeters. I'm learning it. I couldn't see it. The page was turned over. I said it on my own. Let's say it again. Okay. Brains with 1,300 cubic centimeters. Look, I'm learning too, the teacher. This species had larger bodies. Okay? Homo sapiens brains are between 1,200 and 1,600 cubic centimeters. This species has larger frontal lobes and broader foreheads because of increased brain capacity. And that's it for this class. Next class, you will be starting a whole new biology class, yeah. So, how did you like this class? Was it good? Did you pay attention? It's Friday night. Are you all enjoying watching TV? Did you go out to dinner? Are you just taking it easy with the kids? I hope you enjoyed my show tonight. For those of you who have not subscribed yet, please subscribe and hit my like button, everybody, if you liked me. I suggest you quickly, all of you, but and especially the newcomers, get in here and get learning, and let's learn. We want to get educated. It's fun. This biology, just staying with it, you know. I didn't start at the beginning of the book, but I don't want to quit. Next class, we're going to start with the next pages. After I just finish this class, the next page is a whole new, I don't know if it's a chapter or a whole new, they call it part. It's a whole new something in biology, and we're going to just go on to that. And we may just keep going to the end of the book and then go to the beginning of the book and learn it up to, you know, where we started. So, okay, so if you would please subscribe, then I would smile. And you would get to see my white teeth, see? Cheese. These are my permanent roots and permanent teeth. They don't come out. They're grown into my gums. Real teeth. See, cheese. If you subscribe and you hit my like button and you show me that you can watch a lot of my videos at your own convenience, jump around, but just always remember biology right now, for now. Biology's our #1 class for now. But, you know, so stay with the biology, you know, all of you. And then once in a while, you can still jump around, yeah. Because actually, you're going to have to jump around some. Because I'm planning on teaching this class another month or two. You know. And then we might get a little sick of it, and then so we'll go back to trials. Or I may start up linguistics, because that's the original class I was going to start with. And I did. But the phonetics, I went into phonetics, and it just got so heavy. And you look up one rhetoric, and there's 10 more rhetoric you got to look up. And the words were like this long. Each one word would be like this long, like supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. If you like the sound of this, oh, it's so atrocious. That just came out of me. I haven't thought of that one. Mary Poppins or The Sound of Music, whatever. That part I haven't even thought of in years. You see, that's why my show's called Miss Melinda's Spontaneous Smart Diva Show. I love all 671 of my subscribers. You guys make me feel so alive and feel so good. Before I got here, I had a really hard life, and but I enjoyed life to the fullest. But then there were bad times too, you know. Like everybody, that's life, you know. But the more life experiences you have, and the more classes you take, and you keep growing and growing mentally, you know, and emotionally and educational-wise, it really helps you to enjoy life. It's a lot of fun to learn. And you got me. I'm not going to stop this. I'm going to be teaching all these classes until I physically or mentally can't teach it anymore. I am teaching classes to the whole world for free if I have to. If I don't make all the requirements to make money, I'll still be teaching it for free. Because I just love it. You know, I love law. I knew in the 60s that I was meant to be a lawyer. I always watched, you're probably too young or you're in foreign countries so you won't know, but I always watched Perry Mason on TV in the 1960s when I was a little girl. And I watched Perry Mason work that courtroom. So it was it was fake trials, you know, it was a show, a series with fake trials, but they were made to be as real as could be. You know, they had the judge and the lawyers, you know, and all the participants do the trial exactly like it's done in real life. So we will go back to trials one day. I was using Jodi Arias, and I started to get a little bored at Jodi Arias because I watched her whole trial, which, you know, I watch all high-profile trials, and I've watched hundreds of trials that weren't high-profile, that were very interesting still yet. You know, once in a while you'll get a boring one, and I just won't watch it. Like court TV doesn't seem to be like it used to be. They kept showing, you know, I tried to dip into it a couple months ago or whatever, and they seemed like real boring, stupid trials. But they might have a good one going on right now. Anyway, well, I want you watching mine. Don't watch that. So watch as much as you can. And you could hop over to the judicial system and just 10, 15, 20 minutes. Watch class 1 of the judicial system. That was the first class I taught. And the second class was law classes, and I turned it one morning. I spontaneously woke up and said, hey, I'm going to turn all these little law classes into one big law class called trials, quote unquote. It's going to be all about trials. And I'm going to teach every step, chronological order before you get into the courtroom, and I'm going to teach every step once you're in the courtroom. And actually, it's already in my show. So just look up but stay with first. You know, you can jump back and forth if you want biology and trials if you want to get into that a little bit. I did already start like teaching the chronological order, what you got to do before you get into the courtroom as a lawyer and as the prosecuting state attorney, and the defendant's 2 attorneys. Well, in Jodi Arias, she had 2, a man and a woman, and what they had to do before they got to the courtroom. And then I taught every step chronologically, the way it's done in a courtroom. But I have to, there's still so much more trials I could teach you the rest of my life. That's fun. We can do that. We'll be jumping around. I got a real good one I'm going to focus on a little bit when I get back to law. It's going to always be called trials for now. For now. My law class will be called trials for now. So I'm going to be pulling up Sandra Murphy, and her was a stripper in a Las Vegas, casino. So this rich guy, casino owner, fell in love with her. Ted Benyon, that's it, and Sandra Murphy. And then a man came in that was better looking and became friends with the casino owner, Ted Benyon, and friends with Sandy. But the idiot, so what happened was Ted Benyon owns Benyon's, Well, he's dead now, but he owned Binions, and so I think like the family got inherited, in some way. So you'll get to hear about that. Yeah, I'll pull her up and you know make a nice big class for that. But not for a while. But it was good because it's in Vegas. You wouldn't believe that one. It's a good story. And that bitch is out. Free woman. Yeah, the Sandra Murphy with this friend. I don't remember his name. He became friends with both Ted Bennett and Sandra Murphy. And it gets heavy. And did you ever hear of blocks of gold? Bricks of gold buried in the desert? I shouldn't have told you that. I should have saved it. But so I guess I don't know if anybody else is doing this, but Ted Binion, it was like he geographically mapped out way out in the Arizona where nobody'd come across it, and he would have the sand buried over it where you couldn't see nothing. But he would be able to find it because he would have this exact geographical map and all that kind of thing. And nobody would ever know, if they walked across that sand there over his treasure, they wouldn't even know it. But I'm not going to tell you anymore. I've already told you too much. I'm not saying not more. So we will, when I get back to trials, I'm ready. I think I've said pretty much a lot for Jodi Arias. I did use a lot of her trial to teach, like, discovery and opening statements, So, okay, so listen. Will you guys make me smile out there? And please subscribe. I love all the subscribers I have. And you don't know the happiness you have brought to me. I do not suffer from depression. I'm just manic, a happy manic. I don't suffer from depression. So I'm not that stupid, whatever they call it. I'm just born happy manic. I do not suffer depression. But, I wasn't real happy like a normal person, you're getting older, and I don't have a boyfriend. It would be nice to have those things. But you know what? I'm having more fun doing this than anything on earth. And I'm happy where I'm living. I need to be around 200 people, or I get lonely. Yeah, I'm a people needer. I'm a people addict. Yeah, I'm a people addict. So come join my show, okay? I want to bust 5,000 subscribers. That would be fun. Well, it's going fast. Okay, I'm going to let you guys go. So, I'll smile if you subscribe. Cheese, okay? I love you all of you. Viewers too.